I'm part of Treaty 6, the northern half of Alberta.
My dad's reserve is from out east, so he's Mohawk.
I'm Nitstapi Bagani, so it's Blackfoot. I'm originally from southern Alberta.
I'm from Michelle Ban, Treaty 8, northern Alberta. My name is Evan Kayne. I'm working for Morgan Stanley ShareWorks as a QA intern. My background prior to SAGE Techwork, I had a retail job. I came mostly from oil and gas, and I had a background in writing. And while I do have some experience with technology, my programming level was basic, and this is kind of the next level. The program is not only just technology training, but it's also competency training, because you need to understand what your skills are, what your transferable skills. Competency training fills those gaps.
I'm Angela Sims. I'm a software development manager at Morgan Stanley. We connected with the folks at Levvel and SAGE Techworks, and here we are today. We have a couple graduates now working at Morgan Stanley.
I would say that the learning curve most people face in the tech industry is pretty steep. They know that you're coming in without this experience, but you bring your other experiences, your other competencies, which in a way are harder to train sometimes than the technology. Even though part of you is kind of like, man, some days you wish you could take a pill and all of a sudden, I know Java, like the Matrix.
At Morgan Stanley, the program piqued our interest because they are training Indigenous talent with core and technical skills to help them succeed in the workforce. We also did set up each new graduate with a quality assurance mentor, somebody who's been here long term, has a lot of experience, so they always have that contact point, and it's somebody outside of their teams to be able to connect with, ask questions with, to have support from.
A recent success was working on a new testing project and kind of understanding how it works, and then understanding how you optimize a test, and then watching it as it grows and evolves.
He's eager, he's willing, he wants to learn, and he's embracing the entire process, and is just here to learn and do better and to build cool code or break cool code, I guess, as a quality assurance specialist.
I think some of my major challenges, and it's for me, but it's also for new hires, anyone who in the future hopefully will be in my position too, is language. The language of the tech world is different. I'm also learning, the individual language of a corporation, all the acronyms and abbreviations that people use and what they mean. Every day I come home and I say, I learned something new today.
We're constantly looking for ways to further advance our diversity and inclusion efforts across the firm, as well as attract and retain top talent of diverse backgrounds.
To make it more inclusive for hiring, companies, they have to ask those questions. How can we make it better? A lot of times people may come from maybe a completely different world. How can we make those two worlds come together? And a lot of times it's asking, people like myself, people who've been through the SAGE Techwork programs, asking a lot of the First Nation band councils, how can we do that so that it makes it easier for people to apply, to get through the HR department?
And it is important to Morgan Stanley to have that diverse workforce where everyone is welcome, included, seen, and heard.
As long as everybody's been heard, that will be a great step towards getting a company that is successful. Diversity does that. You start realizing that people have different points of view from your life, because they're a woman, because they're trans, because they're Two-Spirit, because they're First Nations, because they're people of color, because they're old, because they're young. And just and listen.
When people are onboarded, they have to share a cool fact with the rest of the larger team. And I know one of our graduates did share a cool fact about his Métis status and some of the politics and controversy around it. So that is opening the door for conversation right there.
People who've been through the SAGE Techwork programs, I think a lot of people took away from it great opportunities. There's great potential for a lot of First Nations folk.